Darkside. The 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 Darkside. Another cold and lonely rainy day comes to an end. I have to clear my mind before I sleep, or else I tend to close my eyes and realize there's nothing there but light. I need shadow, I need darkness to help me through the night. The Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside.
Hello, welcome to the Dark Side. Today we will explore UFOs, their sightings, and the possibility of life on other planets. Excuse me. For me, I personally think that it would be arrogant of us to think that we're the only intelligent life in this huge universe. What do you think? We would love to know. But before we get into all that, let's hear from Jay Fubar and see what he has for us today. Coming up, Jay Fubar.
Alright, you put me all up, man. Shut the fuck up. Come on, we used to do that song like crazy. Hey, man, never gotten that song. Ah, come on, I've never gotten that song.
Thank you, Jay. That was really, really amazing. Great work. Now back to UFOs. Not many of you may know this, at least I didn't. The first well-known UFO sighting occurred in 1947. So this has been going on for quite a while, and I'm sure if you go back in history, you'll probably find that, there were caveman drawings of UFOs. A lot of people believe the Mayans were aliens, stuff like that. So in 1947, this businessman, Kenneth Arnold, claimed to see a group of 9 high-speed objects near Mount Rainier in Washington while flying his small plane. Arnold estimated the speed of the crescent-shaped objects as several thousand miles per hour and said they moved like saucers skipping on the water. In the newspaper report that followed, it was mistakenly stated that the objects were saucer-shaped, hence the term flying saucer. So, that being said, that's kind of where the name came from. Sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena increased, and in 1948, the U.S. Air Force began an investigation on these reports called Project Sign. The initial opinion of those involved with the project was that UFOs were most likely sophisticated Soviet aircraft, although some researchers suggested that they might be spacecraft from other worlds. The so-called extraterrestrial hypothesis, or ETH, within a year, Project Sign was succeeded by Project Grudge, which in 1952 was itself replaced by the longest-lived of the official inquiries into UFOs, called Project Blue Book, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. This was headquartered at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, and this was from 1952 to 1969. Project Blue Book compiled reports of more than 12,000 sightings or events, each of which was ultimately classified as either 1, identified, with known astronomical, atmospheric, or artificial human-caused, like hoaxes, phenomena, or 2 as unidentified, which means they didn't know what it was. So, what do you think UFOs are? Are they alien or something else? Maybe hoaxes, human, man-made? Before we actually get into that anymore, we're going to go to Jim with his Twisted News. Coming at you, Jim. And here's Jim with his Twisted News.
Today's topic is about a New Zealand doctor who, spearfishing with friends, was attacked by a shark. When he felt the shark bite his leg, he stabbed it a few times with his knife, swam ashore, and stitched his own wounds. Then he and his friends went to a nearby tavern for a few pints. That's one tough dude in my book. That made me think, with the weather getting warmer and people going to the shore, what can one do when faced with this situation? Sharks bite humans to find out what kind of animal we are. Here are some tips I looked up. Don't take your eyes off the shark. Stay calm, and that's a big thing. No sudden movements. The splashing may make it more curious. And as a last resort, fight it off using whatever you have. And if you survive the encounter, do like the guy I told you about. Go to your local watering hole and have a few pints or two. Barry, that's for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Love the fish. Love, love, love the fish. So, some researchers have suggested that the reason that we see these things, there could be several excuses. The unaided eye plays tricks on us. It's a well-known thing. A bright light, such as the planet Venus, often appears to move. Astronomical objects can also be disconcerting to drivers as they seem to follow the car. So this could be some of the reasons for sightings that aren't explained. It could be some, they're not Soviet, aircraft. They're not anything else, so maybe this is some ways to explain some of the things that these people see. Visual impressions of distance and speed of UFOs are also highly unreliable because they are based on an assumed size and are often made against a blank sky with no background object to size it against. Reflections from windows and eyeglasses produce superimposed views in complex optical systems, such as camera lenses can turn point sources of light into apparently saucer-shaped phenomena. I'm sure you've seen pictures that people have taken where there's orbs. Some people believe those are spirits. Other people believe it's just a defect in the lens, or it could be a piece of dirt, or maybe water crystals, molecules, what have you. Such optical illusions and psychological desire to interpret these images are known to account for many visual UFO reports, and at least some sightings are known to be hoaxes. Radar sightings, while in certain respects more reliable, fail to discriminate between artificial objects and meteor trails, ionized gas, rain, or thermal discontinuities in the atmosphere. I'd also like to talk about abductions. There are people that have claimed to have been abducted by aliens. There's actually, before we look at any further into abductions, we're going to look at a video of a woman who claims to have had sex with aliens, to have been abducted and had sex with aliens. So let's take a look at that.
Stephanie Cohen. Stephanie claims that she is often visited by aliens who help to guide her through life. Not only does she claim aliens sneak into her room at night, she also says that she has sex with them and has out-of-this-world orgasms.
Professor Chris French, however, believes there is a rational explanation, and welcome to you both. This is utterly fascinating, and we should say to Stephanie, we're glad to have you here this morning because as you've been in this morning talking to us, last night, you travelled out to the solar system. Where did you go and how did you get there?
My group, I call them Team Spirit, and we have a UFO, flying saucer.
Yeah. And we've got a photo. Well, no, it's not a photo.
It's a picture I drew.
This is a drawing that you've done, and this is the UFO that you went in.
Yeah, sure. We go off to planets within our own solar system, but also to way out into the solar system.
Do you go in mind or do you go in body?
In mind, because it happens when when my physical body is asleep, but my spirit will then leave.
Could it be a dream? I mean, would that be what most people call dreaming?
A dream is a friendly way of letting you know what you've been doing without scaring you. That's what dreams really are, because people would be afraid to actually would be afraid if they were face to face with, say, an alien.
So the different species, let's talk about them, these different beings. You say that there are cat people, there are reptilians. Are they all? They're all part of. They're not part of the same race. So these are separate.
No,
entities.
they're very separate, but they do come from the solar system that they come from, which is within the Canis Major.
So that's where they originate.
Yeah, they're different planets within the Canis Major system.
So you, I assume, have seen life and other civilizations on other planets.
Yeah.
And how prolific is life in the universe?
When you look up at the stars at night, that's how prolific it is.
Who is Ian the Octopus Man?
Yeah, he's an octopus man. He stays quite close to me, sort of like a spirit kind of boyfriend, but not really boyfriend. I don't call it boyfriend, just a good spirit friend. And he happens to be from the octopus race. I mean, all of them indulge in insects, but particularly the cat people are extremely highly charged sexually. You know, and it's part of our culture, the cat people culture.
Okay, so yeah, apparently there are several races that she has fun with. What do you think about this? Just give us a call on wildchild3969 on Skype. Let me know what your thoughts are. These abductions are called contact events. They're associated with UFOs because they're ascribed to extraterrestrial visitors. However, the credibility... we have Jay calling. Let's see what Jay thinks about this. Hey, Jay, what's going on?
Greetings, Earth Dweller.
So what did you think about the woman who had sex with aliens?
This chick is tripping, man. Get the fuck out of that. Even if light speed, okay, they wouldn't be able to hit the brakes fast enough to fucking stop at our fucking little piss-ass planet. Even if they did, they hit all the junk that's orbiting around us. Okay, forget about it.
Well, what
you know what? We are too far away for anything to get to us.
Do you think there's life on other planets?
Yes.
Or do you think we're the only intelligent life in the universe?
No, love. I do believe there is life elsewhere, but it is too fucking far to ever get to us.
Well, do you think possibly they ever visited us? A lot of people think that Stonehenge was actually built by aliens, or at least guided by aliens.
Back in them days, sweetie, people had a lot of time on their hands. They were, if they were hungry, they just grab a squirrel, eat it, and they're back to work,
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, I like to think that there's other life. We're just too far to see it or get to it, and there is other planets inhabitable. Right now, we're still experimenting to try how to get there.
I think that's a very intelligent statement. Very intelligent.
Thank you, love.
Have a good day, Jay. Thank you.
As to you, Lily. Goodbye.
Bye. So that was Jay's take on it, and I tend to agree with him, although I do think that maybe they have passed by at least at one point and probably just kept going. So now get back to contact events. A lot of experts believe that, especially psychologists that have investigated this phenomenon, they suggest that a common experience known as sleep paralysis might be the culprit, as this causes sleepers to experience a temporary immobility and believe that they are being watched. So this could kind of be the mind playing tricks on them. Or, for all we know, just like ghosts and spirits, could be real. Now let's talk about Area 51 a little bit. Dreamland is actually the code name for Area 51. Area 51 is a secret military base located about 90 miles north of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's also known as Groom Lake, named for the dry lake bed that the military base is sitting on. The size of the base is 6 miles wide by 10 miles long. Recently, the federal government has seized an additional 85,000 acres surrounding the base to keep observers at distance. I wonder how many people they displaced when they did that. Contained somewhere on the grounds is a large airbase that the U.S. government will not discuss. It is considered so sensitive that only those who take an oath of secrecy for life are allowed in. Civilian contractors and others who work on the base are flown in every morning aboard unmarked planes and blacked out windows. It is said that the structures are built deep into the desert floor, with buildings going down 30 to 40 stories below the surface. What do you think about this? We'd love to hear from you. I'm not sure about the whole UFO thing. I do believe that we can't possibly be the only intelligent beings in the universe, and I'm sure there's lots of other species out there that are probably more intelligent than we are. Right now, let's go see what's happening in Ron's Corner. Well, I guess before Ron's Corner, let's hear from Goat. Hello, Goat.
Sorry I am so late.
That's okay. We still got some time. So what's your take on this whole UFO alien thing?
Well, honestly, with the new telescopes they put up in space, they are now finding out new things they didn't know, like objects now coming out of black holes. Which at one point they thought once something goes into a black hole, it can't get out.
True. Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, one of my favorite channels I do like to watch is the NASA channel. Nice. Wow. And they've actually broadcasted, yes, we had the wrong theory of black holes. Now they supposedly think going into a black hole, it leads to other... Dimensions, yes.
Universes, nice.
So, honestly, it's hard to believe that we're the only ones here when it comes down to it. Am I saying there's UFOs? I don't know. Personally, I've never seen one. It falls along the line like the legendary Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and all those. It could be quite possible that, yes, there are UFOs out there.
So what do you think about this woman who claims to have had sex with an alien? Come on, tell me what you think, Go.
Honestly, she might have. I really don't know. I wasn't there. She was, so, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean...
I think she's a whack job, personally.
She could be, but, like I said, who am I to say, yes, that woman's wrong?
True.
I mean, to her, yes, she could have had an experience or two. It could have been her brain making it up. I mean, we truly don't know. As humans, we only use 10% of our brains. We still have that other 80% of our brains that hasn't even been touched yet.
Hey, now speaking of which, did you ever watch that movie Lucy? It's kind of about that, about what would happen if the human race actually used 100% of our brains.
Yes. And personally, maybe in the next couple centuries, we might actually be able to get to the point where we do actually use our whole brain. But if you look at the evidence out there, like with crop circles, when they go out there and do the study of it, there's no radiation or anything like that.
Weren't quite a few of those found to be hoaxes, though, that there were kids... in local farms that actually went and did that. I think the first group of kids that did it just were bored and did it, and then all of a sudden it became a phenomena. So then it was kind of, you had a lot of copycats going around doing this.
Oh yeah, once one person does it, then you have other people wanting to do it. But like going back to the Mayans as well, I think it's the Mayans. I could be wrong.
No, I believe it was the Mayans, yes.
With the earth symbols they have, where the only way a person could see it if they're high up in the air to actually see what the picture is. So, I mean, there's so much stuff out there that we still don't know.
Yeah, true. So you never know. Never know next time you look up at the sky. Thanks, Goat. You have a great day, honey.
You too.
Bye. Now, let's go to Ron's Corner. Let's see what Ron has to say.
Hey, 'cause I got high, because I got high, because I got high.
Hey, thanks, Lily, and welcome to another segment of Ron's Corner. I'm going to start it off with a drink. This is a good one. Barrel-aged Parabola, always tastes all good. You know what? I actually want to talk about just fucking whatever today. First off, our country's fucked up. The whole country's fucked. I don't even... The whole fucking thing about it, it's just all fucked. Also, I'm gonna leak out the fucking secret of man. Something we do. Now, when a man kisses a woman's inner thigh, we do that shit for one reason only. It's not to be romantic and intimate. It's to make sure that the fucking cooter don't smell like fucked up shit. So that's what we do. Back to you, Lily.
Okay, Ron. Thank you for that insight into a man's world. We always love hearing from Ron. He's always got interesting insights that maybe some of us didn't think about before. So, thank you for joining us today. We hope we gave you something to think about the next time you look up at the sky. And look forward to speaking with you again for our next show. And join us again next week when we'll have another interesting topic, and we'll hear from Ron and Jim and Jay. And have a great day.